Here we are on the last video of the year. Our do now, we're going to review finding the slope of a line that passes through 2 points. Remember, we've got an x and a y, an x and a y. One method is to use the table method, where we go and we put our points in the table x, y, so 4, 5, 2, 1. Now we think of slope as the change in y over the change in x. So we look for our change in y. It's going down 4. Our change in x, down 2. So our change in y over change in x would be -4 over -2, which reduces to +2. So we'd say our slope is +2. The other method is we could have used the equation method, that the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And we have to choose x1, y1, x2, y2, substitute in, so that would be 1 minus 5 over 2 minus 4, either way, -4 over -2, which is a +2. So let's go on to our geometry review. We're on page 18 in our booklet. First things we're looking at are our angle relationships. The angles above here, they're on opposite sides of a vertex. They are vertical angles. Okay? And vertical angles are equal or are congruent. And we're going to use that fact to create an equation to solve for x. So since they're equal, we can say x plus 16 equals 4x minus 5, and now just solve for x. So subtract x from both sides, we get 16 equals 3x minus 5, add 5, 21 equals 3x, divide by 3, and we get that x is equal to 7. Okay, in the middle here, I see these two angles, they're adjacent to each other. I see that right angle, they're forming a 90-degree angle. They are complementary angles, which means the angles add to 90 degrees. So we'll use that in our equation. So we'll add them, x plus 4 plus 3x plus 2, and set it equal to 90 degrees. Combine our like terms, 4x plus 6 equals 90. 4x equals 84, divide by 4, and we get x is equal to 21. The angles here, I see them forming that straight line, that 180 degrees, so they are supplementary, meaning that they add to 180 degrees, and we'll use that for our equation. 2x plus 10 plus x plus 26 equals 180. 3x plus 36 equals 180. Subtract 36 from both sides. Let's see, 3x equals 144. Divide both by 3. X is equal to 38. Correction there, x is equal to 48. Back to our circles here. If a circle has a circumference of 30 pi units, then find its area. Leave answer in terms of pi. So we're talking about circumference. Circumference is pi times diameter. The circumference is 30 pi, so we'll substitute that in for C. And now we can solve for diameter. Dividing both sides by pi, we get 30 equals d, which means the radius is 15. Now we can find area, just pi r squared. So pi times 15 squared. 15 squared is 225, so 225 pi units squared. Number 2, if a circle's area is 204.7 units squared, then find its circumference. Round your answer to the nearest hundredth. So area equals pi r squared. We know the area, 204.7. And we're going to solve for the radius. So we'll divide both sides first by pi. Okay, so 204.7 divided by pi. Okay, gives us 65 65.158. I rounded to the nearest thousandths. Now we'll take the square root of both sides. Square root of 65.158, 8.07. Now we're going to find the circumference. So we need the diameter. We'll multiply by 2, which is 16.14. Now we can find the circumference. Circumference is pi times diameter. So it's going to be pi times 16.14. Which is 50.7053053. We're rounding to the nearest hundredth. 50.71 units. On page 19, we're going to find the area and perimeter of our composite or irregular figure. Let's start with area. We've got our semicircle and our square. So semicircle, area equals pi r squared divided by 2. That's showing us that the radius is 6. So it's going to be pi times 6 squared divided by 2. And let's make sure, let's round to the nearest tenth here, let's say. So 6 squared is 36, so that's going to be pi times 36 divided by 2, which will be 18 pi. And let's see, 18 pi, 56.548. So I'm going to say that's 56.5. And then let's find the area of our square, right? Square, area of a square is side squared. So that's going to be 12 squared, which is 144. And then we'll just find the total. 144 plus 56.5. 200.5 meters squared. There's our area. Now let's work on perimeter. So perimeter, first thing I want to find is that circumference of our semicircle. So that'll be the circumference of a circle divided by 2. If our radius is 6, then our diameter is 12, which either way is going to give us 6 pi. 6 pi, 18.8. Now something I want to realize when we talk about perimeter, we're going around 3 sides of the square, not 4, and then the circumference of the semicircle. So we're going to add 18.8 plus 3 times 12, so 18.8 plus 36, which gives us 54.8. So our perimeter is 54.8 meters. Okay. Now down here we're looking at volume. So volume of our three-dimensional figures. We have a triangular prism where volume is length times width times height divided by 2. We want to realize width and height are here. Length is there. So our volume will be 24 times 16 times 12 divided by 2. So 24. So 4,608 divided by 2, which is 2,304 yards cubed. There's our volume. Now our cylinder we can leave in terms of pi, which is great. Volume formula of a cylinder, pi r squared h. So we can see there our radius is 5, our height is 12. So that's going to be pi times 25 times 12, which will be 300 pi centimeters cubed. Okay. Now our cone is the volume formula of the pyramid, of the cylinder, but 1/3 of that, or divide by 3. So 1/3 pi r squared h. H is internal. Oh, look, it has the same radius, same height, which is kind of cool. So that's going to be 1/3 pi times 300. Now 1/3 of 300 is 100. So that's going to be 100 pi centimeters cubed. Okay. Now you guys have pages 20 and 21 in your booklet as geometry practice. If you want to do a couple of practice problems just to make sure you have it down, you can. The answer key is posted on Google Classroom in the class notes section, but there is no Google Classroom assignment. I'm not asking you to submit your work. Now remember, our year-end review test goes live today on Google Form. It's posted on Google Classroom at noon and is due by 9 p.m. It is 50 multiple choice. It is open notes, but you may not ask a friend or family member for help. Have a great day. Our last math jokes for Matthew Folks. Here it is. I like this one. What do you call a bird that can count her own eggs? A mathema chicken. Have a great day, everyone.